It's time for, hello, a Jersey Shore recap podcast. Hello?
Hello.
Hello to you, and welcome back. I'm Cookie.
And I'm your host, GWOW. Together we're Cookie and GWOW.
And this is another episode of our episode by episode recap of Jersey Shore.
And today we have season 2, episode 6. It's called Not So Sure, but it's spelled Shore because they're so clever.
The writing team at that show, they really got themselves together for these titles because some of them are pretty funny.
That one was cute. It's a nice little pun.
This episode starts really weird, very bizarre.
Yeah.
It starts with like right off the bat, like the end of a club night. We get this random little moment, which was a fun moment, but it didn't make sense at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Everybody gets home, or who was out? Who was out that night? I don't remember.
Well, this is what was so confusing is like, so at the end of the last episode, Sam and Ron had gone to bed. And in the beginning, a lot of the guys are up in bed, but then the girls like come home and it seems like they had been out, but we never saw them go out. So, and we lose in this episode a lot of chunks of time. So it's hard to really know, like, why did they go out without Sammy?
Well, you know,
where were they?
The editing, we talked about last season how the editing was all over the place. I think this season is worse, and my theory is because they filmed for longer, so they had more meat, like more stuff to fill it, not that many more episodes. I don't know, so maybe they just had to scramble stuff around.
So also in this little part, when Snooki crawls into bed with Vinny, I had said, and I don't remember what episode it was, whenever the last time Snooki and Vinny had ended up in bed together, I thought that they fucked. But the way that Snooki acts this time makes me think that this is the first time they fucked. And so I think I might have to take back what I said before, right?
They probably like fooled around and like maybe like dry humped and made out the first time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like
maybe some like foreplay.
And some people would call that hooking up, but not like sex.
Right.
So I think this time
that's heteronormative, but
right. So I think, exactly. But
do you think that they came the first time? Do you think anyone had an orgasm?
I feel like no, which is probably why they didn't consider it like full on. Whereas this time I feel like they like had sex.
Okay, wait a second. On this, maybe they hooked up last time.
Mm-hmm.
She is describing his dick to Sammy. Which makes me think, okay, so you didn't see his dick the first time, exactly. I guess. And she says like something about trying to squeeze like a watermelon into a pinhole or something like that, which is it's hilarious. But that's why I'm like, oh, so I guess y'all really, really didn't smush the first time.
I just have to say you did, I am a gay man, so you breezed past this a little too fast, and we need to double back as a homosexual man to the giant penis. Now, this became kind of a legend. This is after this episode, this has been part of his story that he's got a big
schlong.
Do you think he really does, or do you think Snooki's just tiny?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like he can't be that small if Snooki's talking about it the way that she is. So if anything, like if I were to go to hook up with Vinny, I would expect a medium to large size penis.
Right.
I would obviously not expect small, but I wouldn't picture something that's going to like rip me open. It's probably just like a nice big penis,
Well, either way,
I would like to see it.
I'm just saying. I'm curious.
So fucking funny.
I'm curious. I would like to see it.
That's all you, baby.
Listen, you can't tell me you're not curious.
I'm retired from dick. I'm good.
No, but just like to see it, just to know.
Like in a picture, sure. Yeah.
Right, like just to know if like it really is.
You think he has an OnlyFans?
I wish. I would subscribe.
He would he would make so much fucking money.
He would be so fucking rich off of OnlyFans. He'd make more from that than he ever made from the show. I promise you that.
100%.
Did you
make thousands and thousands and thousands a day?
I will say that. Did you see that one? It was did it have anything to do with family reunion? I don't know, but I saw him stripping. That's all I'm saying. Online, there's a video of him stripping on stage.
Cookie.
Yeah, but it's like it's just him on stage and he's doing like an exotic dance.
Cookie.
And Yeah.
You know he had multiple residencies in Vegas as a stripper, right?
What? I only saw one video.
Joking. You're joking right now.
No.
He's been a Chippendales dancer for literally years. Before this was pre-pandemic, he joined Chippendales. And that's a whole running show. This is why you are missing out not watching Family Reunion. You don't even know that Vinny's a stripper.
Why don't you make sure?
I'm
no, because you're a bad friend because you should let me know that. I'm a bad friend. Why didn't I know
because
that?
I'm not telling you what your man's career path went down. Absolutely not. You should be supporting him by watching the show. You're not. I can't. I'm literally speechless that you didn't know this.
And I'm not that into him. But these days especially, he's hot. He got big. Like he's starting to look now like the other guys looked back in the day. They
call him the Keto Guido now because he went keto and he like got buff and for Chippendales.
He's kind of one of the most muscular now out of them, and he's so hot. And more hot now than he's ever been, I think.
And that's Paulie's like his running joke is like, oh, my side piece is a stripper.
I cannot believe it. I'm joking, by the way. You're a great friend and co-host, but
I know. I was really hoping you were about to say I'm joking. I knew this, but I'm shocked that you had no idea.
I thought it was like a gag that he did it once. I didn't know it was like his whole.
No, he had a whole residency and he just signed to go back. So he's literally probably there like right now.
I didn't know that. When did he? Okay. I know we're off on a tangent. We'll take a break in a second, but when did this happen? How did it come about?
It was okay. So it happened because Paulie had a residency in Vegas, and when Vinny was there, I think it started out as like a one night thing, and then he really actually liked it and liked all the dancers. And in the one where the Double Shot at Love show where him and Paulie were dating girls, they like in the season 2 they all go to Vegas, and one of the girls from that show ends up dating one of Vinny's stripper coworker friends, and then those two, the stripper and that girl, ended up on X on the beach. So it's all just like a trickle down, but I know way too much about all of this. But
I can't believe I didn't know that.
Amazing.
I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed.
So back to this fight, because this is really still the topic at hand.
Yeah, right.
So Mike and Sam sit down. Sammy's really not okay, like at this point. And I don't blame her. She's no freaking clue what to believe. And Mike is the only one who sets her down and says, the note is spitting facts, girl. He really spells it out for her again. He did this last episode. This is the second time. He's like, Sam. And he even says to her, like, you're not listening and you're looking like crazy.
Well, and he flat out says, what is in that note is all correct, basically, and you need to leave him. I don't remember exactly how he says it, but he says some version of you need to break it off with this guy. This is the most bluntly anybody in the house has spoken, and it's a really unlikely source. Like I wouldn't expect that from Mike of all people. Now, riddle me this: do you think this was just his drama-loving self? Or do you think he was really being a good friend? Or do you think it was a combination of both? Because I think it's a combination of both.
I actually think that he considers himself a no bullshit kind of guy. Yeah. And so I feel like this was actually a moment of authenticity. Like, I think he was just like, girl, this is what's up. And these are the facts. Like, I think it was actually just him being like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to get involved. So I also think it was like anti-drama because he was like, why would I involve myself by lying?
And I think this is actually a good look for Mike because he was the only one. He's the only one being honest in this entire house.
Yep. And the girls are still like, oh, we don't want her to know it's us. And when they come back, they start to say that they want to tell Sam. And then they kind of get in a fight with Sam for no reason, mostly because they're like, Angelina, bring her in here. And Sammy's like, would they send you to fetch me? But like, aren't those supposed to be your friends? Like, I'm so confused why she's so hostile towards them. But I guess it's because she's literally in this like trust no one mentality.
And I have to say, I get that tensions were high and everybody was a little stressed out, but the way Jenny handled that situation was not correct because they're sitting there trying to figure out how do we tell this girl all this stuff we know? Like, how do we admit that it was us without causing problems? And then Jenny comes in hot. Angelina, okay, let me set the record straight. They send in Angelina to tell Sam to come out because they want to talk to her. Sam says, they're adults, have them come talk to me. And so then Jenny comes in essentially yelling at Sam for not coming out. And I actually have a little sound bite.
Yeah, because That's why your man's putting his in other.
What?
And then, so she's like, even though she's very aggressive, I understand her point. She's basically saying, don't deflect your anger onto me when it should be at your man. Now, Ronnie responds by deflecting back and saying, if they were really your friends, they would have told you right away, knowing damn well he blackmailed them being Snooki, into not saying anything. But now he's like, oh, well, they didn't tell you right away, so they're bad friends. They didn't tell her right away because you blackmailed them and you made it seem like they were your friends too. What kind of fucking manipulative shit is this? Oh, I'm clearly heated. Sorry to get loud, but I am.
And the thing is, what Jenny said was right. She was
100%.
She was letting Sam know she was being made a fool of. I just feel like Jenny maybe could have handled it a little differently. Maybe
she didn't need to mirror the hostility. I agree. And Sammy's really just like not herself right now. She's literally unraveling. I don't think anybody really knows what to do though, including the girls, including Sammy. And Ron is just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Well, Sammy knows that she's not herself. She actually says the words at some point, I'm not myself right now.
She walks to tell the girls like, look, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, this is why I feel for her and why I don't know if she's making the right choices, but I understand why she's not making the right choices, because she's just in such a state of shock, confusion, not understanding. Everybody's lying to her. Everybody's gaslighting her. The one person that's being honest is Mike. And how does she even know she can believe him? I can't even imagine being in her position.
It really sucks. It's going to continue to suck. But maybe let's take a little break before we get into all more sucking.
Let's. Can't get enough of hello?
Never.
Well, check us out on social media. We're on Instagram and TikTok at hello pod.
And if you are listening to us, but you'd rather be watching, you can go to patreon.com/hello. There's also going to be tons of bonus content, including bonus episodes and behind the scenes, like how I got my Snooki pose.
And last but not least, if you're a brand or you just want to give us money, send us an email, a professional email at hellopod@gmail.com.
All right, let's get back to the show already.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello and welcome back.
We are back, and in the midst of all the chaos that's happening in this episode, Vinny has to go to the eye doctor, which is very reminiscent of season 1's pink eye debacle.
I'm starting to think Vinny's just a little bit sensitive. Like he gets a little bit of pain in his eye and he freaks out.
Well, I mean, he did have pink eye genuinely the first time, so maybe now he's traumatized and he's like, oh no.
Well, this time they go to the eye doctor and it's just, what did they say? Dry eye?
Dry eye. So the roommates are like, they go out like everything's normal, which is super strange to me because I'm like, I didn't remember this playing out the way that it does, because I was like, oh, the note gets dropped and then all hell breaks loose, but it's kind of a slow burn. So like right now they're out and everything's okay.
Okay-ish. There's definitely tension. But the thing is, nobody's admitted it yet. So there's like plausible deniability. And I think I feel like Sam, even in her head, is like not allowed herself to believe that it's Jenny and Snooki yet. So you know what I mean? Like,
but even if, regardless of who wrote the note, like why she's kind of like okay with Ron.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And like even that, but like everybody's like acting like it didn't. I guess they just want it to blow over, but it feels like a bomb was dropped, and it's just like it. Maybe it like round one explosion was kind of small, I guess. Where I just remember things blowing up, but like they have a full normal night out. Vinny's going to the doctor. It's like the note didn't even happen for a moment.
So as usual, we don't get to see them at the club for very long, but they go home and Mike has himself another girl.
He brings home a girl, brings her to this mushroom, but it's like, hold on, I gotta get myself ready.
The sight of this was so funny because Miss Girl was just sitting there all by herself, probably with just a camera operator. So just her and some random camera operator, maybe a mic guy.
If even that.
And Mike is out there preparing himself a little meal. He's got a little bottle of ranch, a little drink. He's got himself a whole little dinner.
And then he goes to smoke a whole cigarette.
He He's just
Like, he's
enjoying
just
his
taking his
night, casual Kelly.
time.
Yeah, exactly. I
He's in
gotta
no
have a bite
rush to fuck
eat, have
this
a
girl.
cigarette. Not at all. And do you think this was like a flex of like, I'm gonna sit and take 45 minutes and she's gonna sit and wait for me? Like, do you think that's what that was?
I don't know what this was. Because it was kind of funny and it doesn't seem malicious. If
No.
anything, I think so. Like, Mike is a food lover through and through, and I could totally see him doing something like this now, where like him and Lawrence go out on a date. They come home and she's like, "All right, honey, let's go do the thing," and he's like, "Hold on," and he sits down to have a 3-course meal first.
Yeah. Well, okay, but let me ask you. Can you fuck on a full stomach? Because I can't. It feels
It depends. I mean, my girlfriend and I go out to dinner and then come home and fuck all the time, but it's not like immediate. There's like a little bit of time in between, you know.
I could do like a little, like a drive home, a little bit of time later, but he literally like eats and then is in bed. I don't know.
He eats, smokes, smashes, and then is like, "All right, girl, I got you a taxi. See you later."
And it seems like they finished very quickly.
Yeah, even everybody else is already like, "You're done already?" Like, okay.
He is just unashamed. He calls the cab for her, has it waiting, but she's really receptive to it. She's like, "Oh, thanks for the cab. Okay, bye."
It was kind of funny. I mean, hey, if that's what she came there for, then it was consensual, and I don't blame them for that.
This is a weird moment where it's like, usually you feel for these girls that they're like kind of being fucked over, but I felt like she was in on it. I felt like she was
I don't think she was getting fucked over.
Time to go. I'm leaving. Bye. Like, I feel like she was ready to go.
Good for her. Good for you, girl.
Yeah, exactly.
So now this is where the dinner comes back around. So it's apparently been a whole week, and Sam and Ron are in bed together. So in that week, I guess they're okay now. But the girls have committed to cooking. JWoww does not let us forget that it was Sammy's idea, but to go grocery shopping. I just really like this part where Snooki calls her ex to get the recipe. I like that because it's like, okay, so they can't hate each other that much if she can call him and be like, give me the rundown to make this, the sauce.
I didn't quite get, was that Emilio or was that an ex from before?
I think it was a different ex.
Okay, that makes sense, because I was like, if it was him, why were they so calm? You're right. I think it was from before.
And if it was Emilio, I think that they would have said so. But I think since this was his only involvement in the whole season, they didn't even say his name.
Okay. That is funny. I could not relate. I just can't. Like, I never contact my exes, but that's a me problem.
I messaged my ex the other day because I was reading a porn star's autobiography, and her nephew had the same name as him, and he's kind of a unique name. So I sent him a Snapchat and I was like, "Fun fact, you have the same name as Jenna Jameson's nephew." And he messaged me back and was like, "We love that." And I didn't continue the conversation, but in the same sense where Snooki called, asked for the recipe, and then they hung up. That's absolutely the kind of relationship I want to have with all my exes.
There you go. And he told her the recipe.
And they go get all the ingredients. The men have little faith that the girls are going to be able to put this together, but they get dinner made and it looks pretty good.
But Sam refuses to eat. She just sits there with a full plate for the whole dinner.
She refuses to help too, even though it was technically her idea to have the girls cook dinner.
And I think they asked her and she's like, "I don't want to. I'm not going to."
They ask if she can go pick up some vodka with Angelina for the Peniel vodka. And she's like, "No, I'm not doing that." And she just goes to pick up the phone. And she very begrudgingly makes her little salad. And other than that, she just has a lot of attitude for no reason.
The funny thing to me is that she just sits there with a full plate and refuses to eat. Like, you're playing yourself, girl. You're going to go to bed hungry to be petty?
Yeah, and she's like, "I'm not eating any of Jenny's food." Like, when did JWoww become the enemy? Like, that's right. Did we miss something? We need to go back on Reddit and see if there's something in here we don't know. Like, why was it so hostile?
Did she? They said it was her idea to cook. Was that like days prior? Because why did she say let's cook and then not want to cook?
She said it in the last week. Like, they even showed a clip where they were cleaning up from the dinner the week before, and this is then a week later, and she on that. In the week before, she had said, "Oh, why don't next week the girls cook and you guys clean up?" And I think she said that because she was cleaning up at the time.
Yeah.
But everybody was like, "Okay, great, down." And then Snooki and Jenny, mostly Jenny, was really who cooked. Like I said, Sammy just put together her little salad.
This must have been shortly after that little pre-fight that they had. that I just played a clip from. It might have been like the next day after that or something, because like she still has not received 100% verification that Jenny is part of the note.
Yeah.
But at this point, she's acting like she does know that, because she's pissed at Jenny specifically.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this is a good spot to take a little break.
Perfect.
We'll be right back. Hey, G-Wow.
Hey, Cookie.
Do you like electro pop music?
Of course.
Well, I love electro pop music, which is why I make it. So I'm going to play a song for you right now. And if you like what you hear, make sure to check me out. You can find all the links on my social medias. I'm available at Angel Iconic Music.
We're heading through a wormhole, baby. You better run, we're coming to Earth. And if we like it there, then we might stay. Your world, it has more than you deserve.
Hello.
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 We're back.
We are back, and this is where the note is going to start to come back around. Not so. I feel like this is a bomb that maybe bomb isn't the right word to be calling this note anymore, because it's not like it's a bomb, you light it, it goes off. It's very much like it's a roller coaster. It keeps coming back around. There's a lot of twists and turns. And so again, Ron and Sam are like fully okay again. And Sammy and Angelina find themselves together at the gelato shop for a shift.
And they have this weird thing where Sam is all of a sudden totally changed her tune. She was the one from the beginning that didn't want to be friends with Angelina. Like, she was the first one to be like, I have a problem with you. So, and now in the gelato shop, all of a sudden, after her little fight with Jenny, or her little argument with Jenny, now she's like, I don't know. I feel like I trust Angelina. I like her.
Girl, I feel like Sammy is just drowning and Angelina is just the first boat to, come by. I think this is totally her just like trying. I don't even know.
Of all people
Angelina,
to trust in the house.
Yeah, well, here's the thing though. Angelina is the least like in the family. So it actually would work in Sammy's favor to be like, all right, well, if I'm going to like be away from them, I should get you on my side. She's probably one that's more easily manipulated because she's not as close with really anybody as they are with each other. So she's more willing to give up information, which she does in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, she fully flat out confirms Jenny and Snooki wrote the note, but she, of course, takes no involvement in it at all. Even though, how did Jenny and Snooki find out about what happened at bed that night? Angelina.
Yeah, Angelina knew all the same information that's in the note. So it's confusing. It's like, who cares who wrote the note? If everybody knew, whoever wrote the note is the only one who was telling you. I don't know.
Right. The thing is, Angelina informed them of everything that's in that note. Jenny and Snooki didn't see a single thing they wrote about. Those are all Angelina's words. And now she's trying to act like, I can't believe such a thing. How could they do that? I never saw
It's so weird. You would think that then Sammy would immediately like go back and confront the girls after hearing, okay, y'all wrote the note. But instead, she's just like, maybe she still just doesn't know what to do and is really confused because she's still kind of like acting like nothing happened, and then life continues like normal. They all go out again.
Oh yeah, and Mike's sister comes over randomly.
Mike's sister comes back to visit because remember Vinny and her had like a sort of a thing last season, and Vinny dresses up like a total tool for her.
Dude, I didn't even notice he was showing off for her. That's why he dressed up
in his bling. He looked ridiculous.
But they're kind of vibing, and maybe she's into it. Maybe she likes that kind of look.
I mean, he didn't look super far off from Mike, so.
Well, that's the thing is she's if her brother is Mike, they must come from the same kind of school of thought, so they must both appreciate that kind of tacky early 2000s look, or early 2010s, I guess.
Yeah, it's a look for sure.
Vinny is kind of talking about her in the confessionals, like they're vibing, like he can see, but it doesn't really go anywhere.
They are dancing at the club, but it's definitely not like any sort of immediate connection or something.
They get back from the club though, and Paulie is fucked up.
He's so drunk. Fucked up that at some point he makes out with Angelina, I think in the cab.
Yeah, and what's that about?
They had hooked up before, so maybe it was just like
yeah.
a reflect, a reflex.
And you know
I
what?
don't know.
I will say, I mean, I guess there's sometimes when there's people like, that you're comfortable with hooking up with when you're drunk. And I guess she's that for him.
Yeah, that's true. And he is she does make a joke like, oh, I'll sleep in Polly's bed tonight. But then when they get back, he's so drunk and they basically just flop him into the bed and he's passed out.
So this is a moment. This is where there's been multiple days in their time and multiple episodes for us where things have been building, but nothing has quite exploded yet. I think this is finally where the button was pressed. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do, but it's
moment.
so weird of how this plays out. Like it's really strange. So Vinny I actually think Vinny's correct in this scene. So Vinny hears JWoww on the phone. She calls her boyfriend Tom, who I literally forgot existed.
I was just gonna say, I forgot about him, and he was kind of a plot point in season 1. We heard a lot about Tom last season, and she didn't mention him one single time until this phone call. So I guess they're on good terms because they're not fighting or complaining about each other.
You know what? We have no idea what's going on. And I guess at this point, it doesn't really matter, but they definitely are together. She actually calls him earlier in the episode and she just is kind of like, oh, we went out. This is what happened. And then that's exactly what she did here, which it seems like she's doing what every good, hetero girlfriend does. She gets home from being a night out and she says, hi, we're home. This is what happened. I didn't do anything, but here's what happened throughout the night. And in that recount, she says, yeah, Paulie's so drunk. He's like throwing up, maybe. I don't know. And she was just stating facts. And Vinny hears that and vouches like facts. But he then hears Angelina twist and say, oh, Jenny's talking shit. And Vinny immediately is like, no, she's not. So then he goes to Jenny and tells her, who confronts Angelina. And this is what starts the fuse. Because then to be fair, when Jenny goes back and is like, what are you saying? Angelina, could totally backtracks and is like, no, I was just saying. And Vinny is even like, oh, yeah, now you're just saying now that she's in the room. But a minute ago, you were saying she was talking shit. It's totally weird.
Well, I appreciated Vinny. I appreciated that he set the record straight.
Yeah, that's like I said, he was definitely right in this instance.
But they start arguing, and it starts, of course, about whatever the fuck. But really, everybody knows that's not what the fight was. That's not why anybody was fighting. Well, then
Sammy inserts herself. Yeah. And that's when you know it's not going to be good.
That's when the fight becomes what it was really meant to be about.
Yeah, and the credits start rolling while the fight's happening because they want you to have this cliffhanger of all hell breaking loose. But this is still the moment where Sam confronts them, which is wild because like her and Ron are back together, despite everything that's being written in this note, and all of her anger is totally misplaced, and Jenny just gets the brunt of it, I guess. I don't know.
Are we? Is that the cookie quote?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's do it. Let's just go straight into recreating it. I'll do Sammy this time.
Okay. Yeah, I was Sammy last time. Okay. Cool. We're in a fight. Get mad at me.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Okay. Step up. Step up.
I don't fight.
You don't fight because you can't fight.
Here's the thing. I don't like you.
Why don't you like me? Because I came to you as a woman and I told you about your man.
Who wrote the note? You two?
For someone that begged all the girls in the house. If you know something, tell me. If you know something, tell me. If you know something, tell me.
Funny how people are pussies all of a sudden.
Pussies? Pussies? I'm in your fucking face right now.
I'm in your fucking face too.
Bruh! And then I love the girls. Stop!
That audio. End scene. That audio was so iconic because if you know something, say something. If you know something, say something.
If you know something, tell. I'm gonna be saying that for the rest of the fucking night. If you know something, tell me. If you know something, tell me. If you know something, tell me.
That independently is its own meme. But then you also have funny how people are pussies all of a sudden.
My favorite is actually who wrote the note. Used to. With her fucking she does this finger guns thing with everything that she's saying right now. Like she's some like fucking gangster. Like who used to.
Funny how people are pussies all of a sudden. That was such a fun gif. I used to use that all the time on Tumblr back in the day. Even the stop. I think I've even used that audio before. There's so many.
So good.
I'm sorry, but that is such an iconic fight.
It is. And really, like, I feel like the level of like one-liners that Jenny is able to pull out in the heat of the moment will never be matched. It's unparalleled.
And I've noticed that Jenny does that a lot. The repetition of a line.
If you stay, you can get your ass beat. You can stay and get your fucking ass beat. You can stay and get your fucking ass beat.
Exactly. That's her signature arguing style.
She wants to make sure you understand the message. She's thorough. She's concise. She's effective.
Oh my God. That was such a fun moment. I mean,
oh my God.
Dramatic and sad for everybody involved, but so fucking iconic.
Oh, well, we're on the other side of the note, which I feel like this was a big hump to get here. And I can't even remember what chaos is around the corner in Miami now that we're past the note, but I'm excited to dig into it.
I think this isn't even the half open of the season yet.
Almost. I think we're at like next episode's like halfway point or something, like maybe 2 episodes, something like that.
All right. I think that's it for this one.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
If you want more of the podcast, you can follow us on any social media at Hello Pod.
We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/hello. We've got a video feed there so you can see our beautiful faces while we recap Jersey Shore. And we've also got a little bit of behind the scenes bonus content for you.
And you can find me anywhere online at The Lee Regina, including my website, theleeregina.com.
And you can find me online on TikTok and Instagram at angel.iconic.music.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.